No, the Marines said. No, the Navy said. 3 times, the Army said, no. Why? 5T is 5 inches tall. 110 pounds. It looked like a child because it was too small and young. What if I told you that kid would kill 241 enemy soldiers? What if I told you he was going to climb on top of a tank destroyer that was on fire and about to go off? Did I also tell you that by the time he was 19, he would have earned every medal of honor that America could give? Some say they were brave. Some say it was fate. What if it was something else, though? He was known as Audie Murphy. He got more awards than any other soldier in U.S. history. The Army records were also kept. You'll see them today. Number 1 was turned down 3 times before they turned 18. The 7th of December, 1941. Pearl Harbor. Murphy, who was 16, lived in Texas and wanted to fight. The Marines turned him down at first because he was 5 feet 5 inches, 110 pounds, and looked 14. Then the Navy turned it down. The same reason. The Army then turned them down again. They told him straight out to drink milk at home. 6 months before, his mother had died. His dad had left the family many years ago. He quit school in 5th grade to work as a cotton picker for $1 a day. He used a rifle to hunt rabbits to feed his brothers. And now 3 parts of the Army told him he wasn't good enough. To prove it, his sister Karen signed a statement. She lied about when he was born. It was changed from 1925 to 1924. On paper, that made him 18. 30th of June, 1942. The Army finally took him in. After 5 months, he was at Camp Walters, Texas, for basic training. The leader of his company tried to move him to cook school. Murphy said no. He wanted the foot soldiers. During the war, that 110-pound kid who was turned down 3 times had killed more enemy forces than any other American. 2. Number 2 got on top of a tank destroyer that was on fire. January 26, 1945. From Holtzweiler, France. Company B of the 15th Infantry Regiment is being attacked at 2 p.m. There are 6 German tanks and 250 men on foot moving toward Murphy's position. Murphy's group had only 18 guys left the night before. Out of the 120 men who got to this point, 102 had died. Every police officer but Murphy was dead. His men were told to run back into the woods. While the Germans were moving forward, he stayed at his command post and used a field phone to call for artillery hits. After that, a German 88-meter shell hit the American tank destroyer that was behind him. Hit straight on. It caught fire. The group left it and ran away. Murphy kept calling for weapons while on the phone, but the Germans kept coming. 50 feet away, 10 yards away. Murphy got on top of the tank destroyer that was on fire. The fuel tanks might blow up at any time. He grabbed the turret's .50 caliber machine gun and stood on top of the burning truck for an hour, firing at 250 Germans. He kept firing even though he was hurt in the leg. The Germans were only 10 yards away from him. He killed them. He was being hit by artillery shells. While firing the gun, he kept calling in locations. After an hour, all of his weapons were dead. He got down, turned down medical help, and led his group in an assault. The Germans had to leave because of them. On that day, Murphy killed or hurt about 50 enemy forces. He was 19 years old. He got the Medal of Honor, but it didn't say on the certificate that he stood on a burning car for an hour. They just said that it could blow up at any time. Soldier with the most decorations comes in third. By age 19, Audie Murphy had won 33 awards and medals by the end of World War II. Every single American award for bravery in battle that was out there at the time. The Distinguished Service Cross, 2 Silver Stars, 2 Bronze Stars, 3 Purple Hearts, the Medal of Honor, and 5 decorations from France, including the Legion of Honor, which is their greatest honor. There was also 1 decoration from Belgium. He fought in. Among them were Tunisia, Sicily, Naples, Anzio, Rome, southern France, Den, the Rhineland, and Central Europe. He went from being a private to a staff sergeant, then to a second lieutenant on the battlefield, and finally to a first lieutenant before he turned 20. His military record says he killed 240 German men, hurt many more, and captured many more. Historians think the real number was higher. The military historian S.L.A. Marshall looked into American troops in World War II and found that most foot soldiers didn't use their weapons very often in battle. They were unsure. Murphy never thought twice. It was a hit when he fired. After the war, when asked why he got on that tank cruiser that was on fire, he only said 3 words. They were, "I'm killing my friends." Murphy was given the Medal of Honor by Lieutenant General Alexander Patch on June 2, 1945, near Salzburg, Austria. The official statement from the U.S. Army at the time said that there will never be another Audie Murphy. Murphy was 19 years old. For the cover of Life magazine changed everything. July 16, 1945, the weekly issue of Life magazine came out. On the cover, there is a soldier in dress with a baby face. The lead sentence said, "Most decorated soldier." Audie Murphy's life changed after seeing that picture. When actor James Cagney saw it, he called Murphy right away. "Join us in Hollywood." He told her, "I'll help you become an actor." He got to California in September 1945, after his get out of the service. Cagney had booked a hotel room for Murphy, but when he got there, he changed his mind and took Murphy to his own house. Afterward, Cagney said, "I got the shock of my life. It was very thin in Audie. His skin was a dark gray color. It scared me that he might jump out of a window because he was so tense. I gave him my bed when I got home." They were together for 3 weeks. After that, Cagney's brother made Murphy a deal worth $150 a week. Besides acting, they taught him how to sing and dance. It's been 2 years. He had small roles in 2 movies. After that, nothing. He lived above a gym and slept on a cot in 1947 because he was broke. He became friends with Hollywood writer Spec McClure, who then helped him write his story, To Hell and Back. When it came out in 1949, the book was a huge hit across the country. There was talk of making it into a movie at Universal Studios. At first, Murphy said no. He said Tony Curtis should play him instead. Universal said no. They wanted the real hero of the war. Murphy finally agreed to play himself in 1955. 5. To Hell and Back. Made movie history. 1955. To Hell and Back was released by Universal Pictures. Audie Murphy really was himself. He acted out his own fight scenes on TV. The scene of the tank killer. The fights in Italy and Sicily and seeing his friends die. Murphy was scared while they were shooting. Later, director John Huston said that the battle scenes made Murphy think of his real pain and made him shake. But Murphy did it anyway. He owed the men who died something. When the movie came out in August 1955, it had its opening in Murphy's home state of Texas. There was a parade. There were a lot of people in the streets. The movie was a huge hit. It took in $10 million at the theaters. About $110 million today, taking inflation into account. What's even more amazing is this. To Hell and Back was Universal Studios' most successful movie. It was the best for 20 years. A little movie called Jaws broke it in 1975. Take a look at that. Universal had the most successful movie at the box office for a long time, until Steven Spielberg made a movie about a big shark. The movie starred a 55-year-old former soldier who had never been in an acting role before. Murphy made about $1 million from the movie through his pay and a share of the profits. He went on to make 44 full-length movies, most of them westerns. The important one was To Hell and Back, though, because it wasn't about Audie Murphy the actor. It was about the guys who didn't come home. For the 6th time, he slept with a gun under his pillow. It was after the war. Murph got home a hero. Even though he liked parades, parties, and magazine covers, he couldn't sleep at night. The 17th of June, 1947. Murphy went to the doctor and had an exam. Headaches, vomiting, and bad dreams about the war were written down by the doctor. The doctor was told that Murphy couldn't sleep without a gun under his pillow. Back then, they called what we now call PTSD, battle fatigue, or shell shock. Sleeping pills were the only thing that was given. Murphy became dependent on Placidil, a drug that causes sex. 4 years, he took it every night. Dixie Wanda Hendress, his first wife, said he once threatened her with a gun during an argument. She saw him cry as he watched news video of German war orphans. McGillis went on to sleep alone in his garage with the lights on over time. He wasn't outside in the dark. People couldn't be near him while he slept. By the middle of the 1960s, Murphy knew he was totally hooked on sleeping pills. He then locked himself in a hotel room for a week. He stopped doing everything. He got over the problem by force of will. The same grit that kept him on that tank destroyer that was on fire. After that, Murphy did something that almost no warrior had ever done before. He told everyone about how tired he was from fighting. He spoke in front of Congress. Among other things, he asked the government to look into how war affects people's mental health and give soldiers more healthcare benefits. Having a hard time with what he had. 5 months after Murphy died in 1971, Congressman Olin Teague proposed a bill to improve mental health care for veterans. This is when the Audie Murphy Memorial VA Hospital in San Antonio first opened in 1973. When no one else would, Murphy spoke out and saved lives on the battlefield and after the war. Number 7. From being a movie star to being broke. Audie Murphy was making a lot of money by the end of the 1950s. It was great to see him in Western movies. He bought a ranch in California and raced quarter horses there. He bet on games and put money into companies. Murphy really liked horse races. He lost a lot of money on bets. Even bigger amounts. In 1968, Murphy told everyone that he had lost $260,000 in a bad oil deal in Algeria. The IRS went after him because he owed money in taxes. His money was completely lost. He took any part in a movie to make money. Westerns with little money. I guess he made the same movie 30 times, but each time with a different horse. Murphy was almost broke by the early 1970s. But here's what's really interesting. Murphy refused to be in ads for cigarettes or booze, even though he was broke. A lot of companies offered him a lot of money. He always said no. Why? That's not what I want young people to see in me. This is the man who killed 240 enemy soldiers, won 33 medals, and became a movie star. Even when he needed money badly, he wouldn't give up his beliefs. Murphy was arrested in Burbank, California, in May 1970 for assault with intent to kill after a fight with a dog trainer. A shot was said to have been fired at the man. Murphy lied about it. The case was dropped in the end. His bad moods, his money issues, and his PTSD. It was all coming back to him. He was dead after a year. 8th number, 241. Said to have killed. Official records from the U.S. Army show that Audie Murphy killed 241 enemies. But let's look at what that number means. During World War II, most American forces rarely fired their guns in battle. This was looked into by historian L.A. Marshall after the war, and he found that only 15% to 20% of infantrymen actually shot at the enemy during firefights. Fear, doubt, and moral strife. That didn't go over well with Murphy. His first hunt was when he was a child. "My family wouldn't eat that night if I didn't hit what I was shooting at," he told a friend one time. He had no choice but to learn how to shoot that way. During his time in Europe, he had been firing a gun for many years. He didn't think twice about it. Murph's platoon was under fire in Sicily. A lot of guys wouldn't move. He got up and yelled, "Follow me!" and ran up a hill, shooting from the hip as he did so. He was given the rank of corporal. 2 days later, in Italy, he killed 4 German soldiers and hurt 4 more while saving American lives. 2 days later, Germans in disguise caught up with his group and held them down. Murphy rolled forward on his stomach and ordered rocket attacks until 15 Germans were killed and 35 were hurt. That was all before the tank destroyer did its thing. The Army says Murphy was a natural fighter. He knew how to use tactics. He could quickly figure out what was going on in a fight. Some people lost their cool, but he kept his cool. General George S. Patton is said to have called Murphy the best soldier in the Second World War. He did it all by the time he was 19. At 19, most adults are in college. Murphy was in charge of artillery fire while standing on a burning vehicle and had killed 241 enemy forces. Number 9. My mother died and my father left me when I was 16. Murphy was born in a sharecropper shack in Kingston,